Imagine if Apple and Microsoft merged tomorrow, promised to rule the tech world forever, and then went bankrupt in 2 years, in 1968. That is exactly what happened to American railroads, the Pennsylvania Railroad and the New York Central, two industrial titans that built the United States joined forces to create the largest company the world had ever seen. They had $7 billion in assets that controlled the entire Northeast. They were supposed to be unstoppable. Instead, they created a corporate Frankenstein that lost trains, froze the U.S. economy, and destroyed itself from the inside out. This is the story of the Penn Central. On paper, the merger was a masterpiece. The plan was simple: stop fighting, combine the networks, and save $80 million a year by cutting waste. It was the perfect marriage, but in reality, it was a war. The two companies hated each other. The Pennsylvania executives, the Red Team, were old money aristocrats who ran their company like the military. The New York Central, the Green Team, were scrappy innovators. When the merger signed, they didn't collaborate, they collided. The Red Team fired the Green Team's talent. Morale collapsed instantly. But the executives didn't care. They were too busy telling Wall Street that this new monopoly was too big to fail. The chaos began on day one. The two railroads had computer systems that literally spoke different languages. When they connected them, the network didn't just slow down, it went blind. Thousands of freight cars vanished. Trains were sent to the wrong cities. In one famous case, a trainload of fresh vegetables from California was lost in a rail yard in New York until the smell of rotting food alerted the neighbors. While the core business rotted, the executives were playing a different game. Instead of fixing the tracks, they used the company's cash to buy theme parks, luxury hotels, and even a private jet company. They were financial engineering their profits while the physical trains were literally falling off the rails. Then came the winter of 1969. Brutal cold snapped the brittle, unmaintained steel rails. The trains stopped moving. The cash stopped flowing. In the first quarter of 1970 alone, the company lost $100 million. Desperate, they turned to the U.S. government for a bailout. They assumed Uncle Sam wouldn't let the train stop. They were wrong. On June 21, 1970, the shockwave hit. The Penn Central declared bankruptcy. It was an event so catastrophic it nearly froze the entire U.S. banking system. The perfect merger had lasted exactly 870 days. The wreckage of the Penn Central forced the government to create Amtrak and Conrail just to keep the country moving. But the real legacy isn't on the tracks. The Penn Central was the first modern warning. When companies stop focusing on their product and start focusing on financial tricks, disaster is inevitable. It happened to Enron. It happened in 2008. And it will happen again. The executives at Penn Central thought they were in the money business.